Actually, kind of a two-part question of what have the autism advocate groups done right, and what have the autism advocate groups done wrong or not succeeded in?
What they have done right is that they've started lobbying, they've started bringing to the attention of legislators and government officials the problems caused by the mercury in the vaccines and the autism epidemic. What they've done wrong is they haven't been able to convince enough of their fellow citizens to raise Cain with the legislators in Washington to bring about change. We need a massive public relations campaign to convince legislators that this has to be done, that mercury is toxic, it has to be taken out of vaccines, the Vaccine Injury Compensation Fund needs to become more user-friendly, and we've got to do something to stop the increase in autism, and we've got to do something to make sure those who've been damaged are compensated. And that means we have to have a lot of people involved. So people that have children that are autistic or know people that are autistic, they need to get together and start forming organizations in each state, each city around this country, and keep putting pressure. Political pressure will bring about positive change. That's the one thing I'm sure of.
Can I ask you briefly about the Combating Autism Act, what was just recently signed into law? You had commented publicly and about the positive aspects of the bill. I know you would have wanted much more in that bill, but can we still turn the Combating Autism Act bill around to include immediate help for families in schools? There seemed to be limited funding for immediate help for families in schools in that bill.
Well, for children who have learning disabilities, there's supposed to be, we appropriate money from the federal level to the states to deal with that. And the states have not been getting enough money. There's more children with disabilities than there is money to take care of them. That's one of the problems the states are facing. We are only funding that part of the government, if you will, helping kids with learning disabilities at the state level to the tune of about 40%. We promised we'd do it at 100% level, and we've only done it at 40%. So the federal government needs to do more, and we'll be pushing them to do more. But so far, they haven't lived up to the commitment, financial commitment they should have.
We were talking about the Combating Autism Act earlier, and one of the things that wasn't included was the research funding that got pulled for vaccine safety and environmental causes of autism. How can advocates plan effectively to ensure that the Appropriations Committee funds these vital areas?
Well, the only way you can do it, especially at a time like we're in right now where it's a fiscally tight time, is for them to stay on their congressmen and senators and stay on the people on the Appropriations Committee. They need to contact those people and tell them how important the issue is and be personal with them, tell them about their families.
Okay.
Yeah.
What will be the autism community's challenges in working with the new Congress and, say, specifically maybe Reform Committee Chair Henry Waxman?
Well, Henry, I think he has a different view on autism and the reasons for it. I don't know that, I don't think he'll be nearly as aggressive as I was as chairman in trying to get to the bottom of the issue. So, what needs to be done is people need to be diligent. They need to be very diligent in contacting congressmen and senators and keep telling them my family's been horribly damaged. And even come to Washington and talk to congressmen and senators, and it's a tough process.
Can you talk to us briefly about your Republican colleague, Dave Weldon, his involvement in autism issues and his qualifications to speak on them?
Dave Weldon is a very fine fellow. He's a doctor, as you know, and he was one of the people that was on my committee when I was chairman. And I think he became convinced through the hearings that this was a problem. And so David has taken the initiative to sponsor legislation dealing with autism, which I have co-sponsored, and I'm very happy that he's jumped into the fight and is doing such a great job.